For 4 years now, Peninsula Pride Farms has worked with producers in Door and Kewaunee counties to improve practices that protect and improve water quality. They set out to prove that the region can have both a thriving agriculture community and clean drinking water.
We thought that there was a good story to tell about agriculture, but we thought there was room for improvement in the practices of agriculture. So we came together as a group to look at the situation we were in here in Kewaunee County and Southern Door. We felt that the only voices that were being heard would be the extreme fringes, either opposed to agriculture or stringently in favor of anything that was being done on farms. And we thought that neither of those were really a realistic description of what the average farmer was doing.
Peninsula Pride Farms says their work is far from over, but they have made measurable strides.
On our farm specifically, we've done an awful lot of cover cropping over the years, an awful lot of no-till practices. What's really cool about since joining PPF and the Demo Farms program is that we've actually been able to quantify these practices. Not just, hey, by gosh, by golly, this feels good. We can see the improvements, we think we're doing things, but actually to be able to put some science behind it.
Farmers are more likely to adopt new practices after hearing these success stories.
This year we've doubled the number of cover crops we were using in 2016, and we've got over 10,000 acres of cover crops just in our membership.
Our no-till soils, carry the machinery much better. There is land that we farmed this year that if it had been conventional tilled, there is no way we'd have produced a crop this year. But with the no-till, it did so much better job of holding that water, capturing the nutrients. We were able to go out onto those fields at least as soon as if we were tilling. And obviously you're only making one pass. You're planting. You're not tilling, hoping for 2 more dry days and then planting. So it's a much quicker process.
Peninsula Pride now has 57 members and supporters.
My farm, for example, is in northern Kewaunee County, where we have a lot of shallow bedrock and fractured bedrock under shallow soil. There we have to be very concerned that anything we do on the surface of the ground can too easily get into the groundwater. So we're looking at practices up in our area that are specifically dedicated to that particular concern. So example there, Peninsula Pride offers cost share for farmers that need to go out into fields and physically verify how deep the soil actually is, how thick the soil layer is over the fractured bedrock. We give them cost sharing so they can find their most sensitive areas and they can protect those areas from any potential for manure seepage.
Some member farmers are also installing methane digesters.
Main effect, of course, is just reducing our carbon footprint to almost zero. By capturing the methane and using it for fuel in vehicles instead of emitting it to the atmosphere. But the other thing we do is we reduce the coliform bacteria count by about 1,000-fold. So the number of bacteria we're putting on the ground when we spread manure is reduced by about 1,000 times.
The team is finding there is no one-size-fits-all when it comes to conservation, but there are some best practices.
Whether that was no-till planting, planting green, using different cover crops, different ways to apply manure that may be better for supporting good soil health and also at the same time protecting water quality.
This gives them a chance to come together and find out what their neighbors have done, what their friends have done, what others have done that they may not have had a chance to connect with through the busy summer season. It gives them a chance to kind of look back on the last year, compare notes, and learn from each other, because the collaboration between farmer and farmer is a huge part of our organization's foundation.
They are always looking for new members.
Our main goal is to support farmers that share our commitment to continuous improvement. We're not looking to be an organization of only elite farmers, but we're looking to be an organization of farmers that are committed to continuously doing better.
How many times can you take a living, breathing organism, such as our soil, we all depend on it, life would not exist without it, and actually make it better? That's a pretty exciting concept, and one that the farmers of this community have really, they've responded very well to in overwhelming numbers.
Peninsula Pride Farms offers 4 cost-sharing programs involving cover crops, split application of nitrogen, shallow bedrock determination, and mitigation of sinkholes. The goal is to reduce the financial risk to farmers willing to try something new.